Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dexter Loves Annie Crafty podcast. This is episode 45. I did a bit of pre-work words, and yes, the last one was episode 44, so that would make this 45 by the power of counting. My name is Kat. I'm coming to you from Buckinghamshire in England, and it is a very warm and muggy day. It is currently 11 o'clock in the morning. I've harvested some rhubarb, and that's on the stove for cooking, so I'm going to enjoy that later. I only have a very small garden, and I'm not generally that successful in growing things, but I went out to a garden centre at the beginning of the year with my friend Ruth. Hi Ruth. And got a heel of rhubarb, and put it in a raised bed, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to my garden, and it's awesome. So yeah, rhubarb for pudding. Technical problems, sorry. I hope you're all having a lovely morning. Are you ready to see what I've been up to? Sorry, it's been 3 weeks again. I discovered the other day, this channel of mine has been going for 4 years. 4 years. And I don't know, I had a little bit of a sad, because I thought maybe I should have more subscribers by now. Maybe I'm boring. I don't know. I know the people that are here appreciate the podcast and like what I do, so I'm going to keep on it for you. But occasionally I do have that why am I doing this moment, and last week was one of those. It was also very hot, and I had a bit of a, what should we say, a dip in the old happy juice, so I didn't do it, and that's just how life is. But I'm back. We're having a good week. So what am I wearing? You saw this the other day. This is my ranunculus done in a cotton yarn. The cast on and cast off do not move. It's very rope-like, but I did not do the holy bits. Where are we? Yeah, so there's decoration. Didn't do the holy bits there. Just don't like having holy bits there, so I didn't do them. Get me being all Mardy with my knitting. Maybe we should rename ourselves to Mardy Knitting. Annie is here somewhere. I think she's probably in her little den under the other armchair. She will no doubt make her appearance known at some point. So let's get on with it, shall we? Last time we spoke, I was finishing up my Daedalus socks. Ta-da! Yes, you can see where I cocked it up a bit. I don't care. Nobody needs to look at my feet. So there they are. So clever. And if you've got to get decently contrasting yarn, I've done these before in DK. And it didn't work because the colours didn't contrast enough. So I made sure these contrasted. And I love them. And, you know, 'tis almost the weather for shorty socks at the moment. No socks are getting worn. But as it cools down a bit, those are going to get a lot of wear, because I love that colourway. Absolutely love it. It's almost like, because I like purple and black, and I like purple and green. And that's not green, it's kind of a turquoise, but yeah, close enough. And that was done for the knit along with Kelly, Grow Her Own Cades. Shout out to Kelly, because it's like 3 sleeps till your wedding now. You won't watch this because you're behind in podcasts. I know you probably never see this because you're too busy. But Kelly's getting married on Monday. Yay! So big loves to Kelly. But the next Cal was her Most Ardently socks, because it's romantic and she's getting married and all that jazz. So I have one finished. Oh, that's blowing out quite a lot. Right, let's turn that overhead light off for a second. There we go. It's still a bit darker in terms of pink in real life. This was a random mini that I had out of an advent. I think the doodad's down there somewhere. Yeah, there he is. I know that it's called Maleficent because that is my favourite Disney character. We're all about the Disney villains. So, oh, I can't even read it. It's too small. But anyway, that's her at the bottom. If I remember, I'll put something here. Anyway, right, let's get that light back on. There we go. So I have finished one and the other one is in progress. I'm just on the heel flap for that. The main yarn is bugger, can't remember. It's the yarn that I'm not buying anymore because I won't shop at Lovecrafts anymore. The ball band is not in here. I'll put it up on the screen. I bought those yarns for the Stephen West shawl knit along 2 years ago when all that stuff happened, with a hate symbol in the middle. If you weren't around for that, where were you? Because that got big. So I had to stop that one. I started another one. I had other yarn to use, so I used that for that one, and I can see it over there. Anyway, so this is the Most Ardently sock. I'm just getting the pattern. Oh, Annie's out of bed. That's her drinking. Gosh, there's always so many pages in Kelly's pattern. Very thorough. So, Most Ardently. Lovely, lovely, pretty. Those are her socks. And I thought pink was appropriate. That's more a peach. Mine's more of a peach. But anyway, 3 false starts on these. My yarn overs just weren't loose enough. Just total brain fartage. I don't know quite what happened. And again, due to a total brain fart, I don't know quite what I did, but I decided that I should be doing a bigger sock than I think I should have done. So I cast on the size 6. That is for a foot circumference of 9.75. I believe I'm about an 8.5. Totally blew it, but the cuff just looked like it was going to flap, and I hate my socks flapping. So I cast on what I normally cast on for socks, which is 64. I did the rib, and then I increased, and there is a website that helps you distribute your stitches more evenly. You know when you get those annoying patterns that say evenly increase by 6 stitches over the row or whatever, there is actually a website that will calculate that for you. So I did that, and I did it in the main colour yarn, and then cracked on, and it's actually making quite a nice comfortable sock. Obviously I'm doing it to the length of my foot. I think actually if I did these again, if I was still doing shorties, I would probably, because this is so big, because I'm doing it for a much bigger foot, I think I'd probably do a bit more of this because it kind of gets lost and it's such a pretty pattern. But yeah, they actually fit really nicely and they're squishy. I think they're going to be a lot warmer than what I would want for this weather. So I think these are going to be a, you know, into autumn type sock. But they're lovely. It's not the sort of colours I would normally pick, I've got to be honest. But I like them. I might keep them, I might gift them. One of my besties has got exactly the same shoe size as me, so maybe. Can I bear to part with them? I don't know. Anyway, let's open up the lace for you so you can see. Is that coming through all right? Yeah. So those holes should be bigger around the detail. And this is just a twisted stitch just to raise more detail up. It's very clever and they're lovely. And I will do them again. I will do them properly and I will do them in a yarn that I like. Not that I don't like this, but I'm going to do them in a different yarn. There we go. Let's have that hanging up there. So, yes, and that knit along goes till the end of August. I'm going to be well finished. A lot of people have had theirs finished for a long time already. But I have been spinning because it's Tour de Fleece. I think it is still Tour de Fleece. Yeah, all of July pretty much. I put up a short of me making faux lags. I meant to put up a short of me actually spinning, but the brain didn't brain that week. But this is the wool I'm using. So it's an old World of Wool blend. It's not on there anymore. No idea what the fibres are. It's probably merino. It feels like merino. There's white, black and purple in there. What happens, I think, is the employees, the team, come together and invent colourways. And then you vote on them. And then the ones that are most popular get made and sold. So I think this is called Finding Nemo. No, Finding Emo. These are very much my colours. I wasn't emo. I was Diddy Goth because I'm old and I was born in the early 70s and emos didn't exist then. There was goths and Diddy Goths. Diddy Goths meant that you wore other colours other than black. Because as much as I love black, I also like purple. I've always liked purple. So anyway, I showed the short making the faux lags. I have some left. It just means you get a good kind of cross section of the colours and they mix up. There's 400 grams of fluff. I'm almost at the end of it, so I've got those faux lags and that left. That's probably just over 100 grams. I am spinning on my Kiwi, Ashford Kiwi 3 spinning wheel, and it has 3 bobbins. So you've got to be a bit kind of clever with organisation, shall we say. So I had filled 2 bobbins and there's 1 left. So I did a chain ply, which is 3. And then Annie's out of her bed and she's now sniffing bags. So the rustling is Annie. All the noise is Annie. Yay. So I plied it. I've plied both full bobbins. So obviously you have to have an empty bobbin to ply onto. There was a little bit left of the single, so that's still on the bobbin, and that's now, I'm going to just add on to that with what's left. And I have skeined up the first plied yarn. This is it. Let's do it that way so that you don't get distracted by the neon. So there it is. I like it. It's probably a sport weight. That is typically what I spin to just by default if I'm not specifically trying to do anything else. This hasn't been soaked and thwacked. I'm going to do it all together, but I did wind it off onto my Swift, which hangs off the banister of my stairs, because this room is it downstairs. It's not a lot of room, so it's just on the banister, and then I put the wheel underneath it and just sort of, you know, wind it off. Works really well. I'm getting a pickle with that. That is number one. I haven't weighed it, but it will weigh 400 grams when it's all done. Unless it's trapped air and then weighs more. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on that. So that is what's taken up a lot of my time these past few weeks. Lastly, I did have a new cast on. You know, the socks were a new cast on, but that's kind of a regular knit along. But yeah, I did cast on, but I've got pretty far. I'm pretty happy with it. So you remember I've got the doodle book. I got that for my birthday or Christmas, one or the other. They're around at the same time. And if you've been around for a while, you'll remember the cardigan I made my sister in what's the yarn now? Drops Lima. This yarn. This is the exact yarn. And I did pink hearts. But now I've got the doodle book and there's lots of patterns. The world is my oyster, so to speak. So I started on a new cardigan for me because all the cardigans I've made recently are now too big for me. I am losing weight steadily, and they just don't look right. They're just all too big. So I thought, let's get ahead of myself and do myself a nice cardigan for the winter already. I mean, it's a bit warm to be knitting DK wool cardigans, but it's okay so far. I pick my moments. So the pattern I'm using, again, I'm just using the one I know, which is the Tin Can Knits basic cardigan. I don't know. I use the app to track it all in. It's on my phone, which is there, so I can't see it. But yeah, I'll put it up. It's the Tin Can Knits basic cardigan. And I've gone right down in size. I think I'm on medium now, and it still meets in the middle. I have tried it on, but here she is, and I made it in bubbles. So I'm about there. I like them cropped because they can go over my dungarees and my little dresses. But I'm just putting some short rows in the back, and then I'm going to do a line of bubbles along the bottom. Not big bubbles, it's just going to be this, I think it's like a smaller version of that bubble around the bottom. The reason for the bubbles, we'll talk about that at the end, but I bought myself a car and I called her Betty Bubbles, no, Biddy Bubbles. Anyway, so this is in honour of my new car. So that's where we're at. I've got 5 made stitches either side, no, 4 made stitches either side. I'm going to go to 5. Then I'm going to do the bubbles at the bottom. I just hope that the German short row made stitches aren't that obvious. I've not done it this way before, but I decided last night it would be a good idea So I might be cursing myself. So the yarn I'm using, again, like I said, it's Drops Lima, but the colourway is, where are you? 0701. Hopefully I can find that. It's a wool and alpaca mix, so it's going to be very, very warm. Made in Peru. Yarn Group B is a DK. 4mm needle, which is a US 6. Knitting tension should be 21 stitches to 28 rows. We all know I knit big, so they're being done on a 3.5. I'll do the sleeves on a 4 because I do smaller circumference, tighter. They're 50-gram balls. There's 65% wool, 35% alpaca. I think I bought about, I think I've still got the invoice in here. There we go. World of Wool. Yes. The contrast, where are you? I'll get a full ball out. I've left all the ball bands in the bag. It's really rattly, sorry. This one is Yarn Smiths. Well, how does that work? Did I do that? Did I really do that? This is the Yarn Smiths. So that must be on a previous... Yeah, I know what I did. So I bought this... I bought this ages ago. And I think I was going to either use the grey or there was like a lilac-y one. I have no idea where that went now. This is the pink I used for my sister. I wasn't sure whether it would be enough. It would have been plenty. But I like what I've done. But yeah, I've done the colour work in Yarn Smith's DK, for which I do not have the invoice, but it is shade 3254. It's sort of a turquoisey blue. Anyway, they go fine together. So the Yarn Smith's Merino DK is 100% merino, 50 grams again. And having done those bubbles, that's what's left. So I didn't use that much at all. I am going to put bubbles around the bottom and around the cuffs. Hopefully it will look all right. Put it out again if it doesn't. I beg your pardon on all of that. So, yeah, see what I mean about the old brain fart? The heat is not conducive to much braining. And I've thrown it over there now, but 2, 4, I think I've got about 6 balls left and I just started a new one. So plenty for a cropped cardigan. I don't know. Anywhoosies. That is all my knitting. That's all what I've been getting up to. But I have some things to show you because I have been doing some shopping. I got influenced. Where are you? I got influenced. I should not look at adverts late at night. I bought this. Edward's Crochet Doll Emporium by Kerry Lord, and it was on the Toft page. So my mum used to make, my mum was a teacher, and she used to love making little people. She knitted a load on her knitting machine because we used to do knitting machine stuff together. I had a big faff and she had 4 or 5 different machines. But she made loads of little people on the knitting machine. My friend has them now. because I just can't keep everything. I have a load of stuff that she has made, but you know, it just kind of gets a bit silly after a while. I've got to condense 2-3 bedroom houses of crafts into a 2-bed terrace. Doesn't work. But this just got me. It's crochet, and so it happens quickly. But it's a basic body shape, and then you can make clothing for them. I just fell in love. You know, there's a mermaid and a merman. I mean, what's not to love? There's a little bride there. I mean, imagine people getting married and stuff, and you can just crochet them a little bride and groom. Obviously, you can't put that on a cake. But, I mean, look, tails. Hopefully, there's a top hat pattern as well, and it comes like this, so you can sort of, you know, choose all the different head and bottoms. A lot of them come with, you know, you kind of knit the underwear into the body. So yes, here we go. Look, aren't they sweet? And then some people, a little dude with beanies. I'm gonna have to, yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to invest in some eyes. There's a cowboy. There's an old man in his long johns. Just really clever. There you go, mermaid, merman. I don't have any young girls in the family. Well, I do, but I never see them, and they're probably not interested. They don't even know who I am, frankly. So I don't have anyone to make them for other than my friends. So part of the appeal of these is I was going to make some. Those of you who've been around a long time know that I like to do aerial fitness, pole, sling, hoop. So I thought it might be quite fun to do some aerial beauties, you know, get a big circular thing and have somebody sitting in a pole, in a hoop and stuff. I mean, you know, he might have to be number one. I love him. So I've ordered the yarn. That's coming from Hobie. Hobie are doing a cotton DK range. The book says not to do DK, not to use cotton because it'll be heavy. So naturally I've ordered cotton. Anyway, God. So yeah. Soon. So I'll show you the yarn when it comes. Hobie's not in my country. They are, I think, Denmark, but I'm not sure. So it takes a few days. And he's woken up, everybody. Great. Look, I've just got one more thing to show everybody, and then we can play. Do you think that would be good? No, we're doing play bows. I'll be back. Just a quick hello from this one. Say hello. Hi. Honestly. Right, I'm going to go and see if she wants to go out. She wanted a snack. Mid-morning snackies. So I'm going to get on to the last bit of stuff to show you. Backstory, I met my sister for a coffee in a local town. We'd had some memory bears made. She had one made for me after Dad died, with his favourite hoodie, which was branded with the logo of his favourite pub, basically. So she had that done for me for my birthday last year. My dad died last February. And I had held on to some of Mum's clothes with the intention of making a memory bear out of hers, and I never got round to it. You know, I haven't been in the best of health the last 2 or 3 years, and some things just don't happen. So my sister took the material, and we had memory bears made up with Mum's. She used to like embroidered shirts. So she had 2 denim ones with some lovely embroidery on the front. So yeah, we sent that off, and a fleece jacket that she had. They came back. I'll pop some photos up. I also bought a little flat cap for the dad one, because my family are just obsessed with flat caps. My dad's family are very close to sort of Peaky Blinders territory, and they're always in those hats. Always have been ever since I remember my dad. He's had a flat cap on. So that's cute. I got a flat cap for him because Pets at Home, the pet shop, we're doing flat caps for dogs. And it did fit Annie, but she doesn't really like clothing. So I was meeting my sister to get my bear. So we had a coffee. It was next door to a charity shop. So we'd had our coffee, and we were sitting in the sun, and we were getting a bit pink. So we thought, well, we'll dive into the charity shop, see what's going on in there. Well, they had yarn. And I felt it, and I thought, this feels like good yarn. So then I looked closer. They labelled it all as linen, because I guess that's a shop category. But this one in particular had the make on it. West Green, I think it said. West Green. I haven't got my glasses on, but I did find them on Instagram. This must be a really old blend, because I've not seen it on their Instagram. But look, that's 400 grams. No, 200 grams. So they're 100 gram skeins. Everything's been caked up. Let's pull that out. Isn't that beautiful? So two the same for £3.49. I'll work out what that is in dollars, but it's not very much. It's got to be about maybe, which way round do you go? It's either $3 or $4. Anyway, that. So I got those. The rest of them were just labelled up as linen. So I got those 2. No, I didn't. I got those 2. That's a pinky one. That's a greeny one. And they were £2.49 for 100 grams. I brought them home and I tested them. I will link below the video for the testing. But it's basically, if it self-extinguishes, it's wool. It's some type of wool. And then to narrow it down, I think it's something to do with the remnants. Something to do with the smell, but I smell things differently to everybody, and nothing smelled like it was like what it was supposed to, frankly. So if it left a hard ball, it was this one thing, and then if it left like a ball that you could easily squish and pull off, then it was sock yarn. Well, it's all sock yarn. It's all you know, merino acrylic blend, merino nylon blend. So I passed that shop twice last week. The second time I went in again because I couldn't help myself. And previously I wouldn't have been able to because I didn't have the parking available to me. We'll go into that later. So I got 4 more balls. So this one has just got the odd blue speckle in, and then I've got that. So they go together. £2.49 a ball each. And then I found this one. That is kind of a peach and brown and white. £2.49 a ball. No idea who any of the dyes for this stuff is. It's on my Instagram if you want decent pictures of it. But I doubt we'll be able to work out whose it is. But yeah, and then this one, which is sort of a pink. It's pink mottled. It's very dark pink, so potentially into the reds. So that's 8 balls of yarn for under £20, which is what you'd pay for one. So I was very happy with that. I did leave some. There was plenty more, but I can't use it all. So yeah, there's going to be a few things getting knitted up here. I mean, the two together, I mean, that would be really nice as colour work, I think. I put that with a nice cream, that could come out really nicely, I think. Do like a little crop cardie or something, or a little colour work jumper. So there we go. Does smell a bit fusty. Like we all start smelling odd. It's a scientific fact. There's a certain smell to old people, and there's an actual word for it, but it has that smell to it. Yeah, that's not me being rude, that is an actual fact. But yeah, it does have that smell to it. I think what I'll do is I'll decide if I'm going to use it straight away or not. And if not, I think I'll skein it back up again, because you shouldn't really leave yarn caked up for too long, because it changes the tension of it, and then if you knit from it where the tension's been changed, you know, skewed, once your garment's knitted, then it could very well change the tension once the fibres have relaxed. And you know, if you block it or wash it or whatever, it'll change the tension. So I think I'm gonna skein it back up. But it's all sock yarn. My sock door is overflowing, so I think some of the socks are gonna have to get moved on to people that appreciate them. I only have one in mind, really, because she has the same size as me. But socks are so handy for knitting projects, you know, to keep your mind active and your hands active. If you're waiting for something, if you're travelling, I'm always driving because he doesn't. But, you know, if I'm going camping, I'm not going to take massive projects with me, so something small like a pair of socks is perfect. So there's always going to be a pair of socks on the go. And in fact, I have 3 pairs of socks on the go. I just haven't shown you the other 2 because I haven't really made any progress on them worth showing. If you've been around a while, I've got the Beetlejuice socks. They're sort of black and purple and green and sparkly. They're up next to the bed. I do a few rows on them every now and then, but they're going to be long socks. So there's no point in showing you that every week, because you're going to be like, oh yay, she did another 3 rows. I do, however, have, you'll have seen these, the purpley ones. Get back in your bag. I haven't done anything on them because I forgot they were there. So there we go. Hello, just a quick one. This is still today me. Just later, I've been to physio and I'm a little dishevelled, but I've had some more goodies in the post. So I thought I'd share them. I'll do a proper video on them later. But I have finally got myself a cordsmith from Size Inclusive Collective. She has quite a big Instagram presence. I don't know where else she is, but I'll link her below. And as well as buying this, which is much better than the other one I got. I was so daft getting Cranky Spinster. It doesn't work for me at all. Look, they're level. You can use it left hand, right hand. Perfect. But I also got, she's got a new thing. These are 3D printed. Murmur beads, they're called. And I don't know whether this is just a nice free gift for buying a couple of pairs, but that's a lovely thing. The idea with these are, oh, they're really tactile. You thread them and then it's kind of a game where you kind of, you know, it's a fiddle. It's a fiddle thing. So I've got rainbow, and I assumed these were called pool party, but I had to clarify in the description which one I want because I wasn't sure. She'd put names on, but there was a third colourway that wasn't really me. It was just all blue. I'm not really into blue. Well, I am, but I would pick purple over blue. But anyway, so these big old little old, and the thread to make them with, which is awesome. So I will do a little video on that when I get to it. But I thought as it arrived today and I just recorded this morning, I would show you. So I'll come back with that another day. I'll stop rustling and I'll be gone. And I'll probably go back to me saying goodbye. Bye! So that's that. So here comes some life stuff. Yeah, when I got back from France, now before I went to France, I decided that I needed a car. I need a small car. My main vehicle is a transit van. It's converted into a camper. And it is amazing. We can go camping a lot. It's all there. There's a cupboard, there's a bed, there's a loo. And it's great. But it doesn't really fit under the height restrictions. It's the width of a parking space here. England is terrible for parking spaces. Everything's still geared to minis, tiny cars. And the quality of life isn't that great when you can't just pop to the shop and park and run in and do what you need to do. And there's so many things I've not been able to do for such a long time. And so I just decided, you know, enough's enough. I'm getting better. I'm getting out and about. My mental health needs a boost. I need this. So I did it. When I got back from France, on the Saturday night. I saw a car on Sunday, which is an absolute trash heap. It didn't have any brakes, pretty much. I thought I was going to die. And then on the Wednesday, my husband had seen it the night before on the internet, and I went to see it, and it's pristine. It's 10 years old. It's done 7,000 miles. It has had 2 owners. But the previous owner drove it about 200 miles a year. I've already done 300 miles in it. It's beautiful inside out. It's silver, and because of the registration plate, which is BD something, we're calling her Biddy. But then she's a tiny little KA, so I call them bubble cars. My uncle calls them roller skates. He's probably not wrong. So she's Biddy Bubbles. So that's why I put the bubbles on my cardigan, and I am actually going to either cut some bubbles on my Cricut or just get someone to make them. Vinyl's getting expensive to buy. Like a roll of vinyl can be like £15 to £20 these days. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so there she is. She's silver. She's very cute. The van is like a dark grey, so they sort of match. I've gone a bit childish and no, not childish. I have embraced my inner Diddy Goth. The interior, I have turned it all black and purple. I've pimped her within an inch of her life. I'm kind of into the goth Hello Kitty, the Kuomi. In fact, my notions tin is Kuomi. So there's a couple of bits in there that are Kuomi themed, because I can, and she's bringing me joy, so why not deck her out in some fun things. And I love her, and my drive is just long enough. My drive's in a row of 4. My next door, neither of my neighbours have cars, so my drive is just long enough where I can keep the van on the front and I can do a reverse park and get it in behind the van, so I don't have to play musical vehicles when I want to get the car out. I just drive it off and then reverse it back in. So that's awesome. Jobbed, happy chap. So there we go. I have waffled for a long time, so it's probably time to let you go now. So thank you all for watching. I do appreciate those of you who do watch and comment and interact, and you do make my day, so thank you for that. Genuinely, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you. Have an awesome week, fortnight, however long, and I'll be back soon. Take care. Bye.